media me gidi say eye kabima min kabia mamu ene Ghana politics yes eye aman yosem ye oman ye chichiro oman ye chichiro oman so dia kwan e be fa so e be hyehye ne mama sabi wo mu a enibie no titru wo mu ye die wo mu ahoto on pepeye eno na ese eda nyina yakoma so as Ghanaians na me ene news abey asefim areho say omaya for over the last 30 years you free soja ban eni me bi ekoso na obeka say time ye coup 1981 na me dey na me feel say after 3 decades there NDC minim say through the revolution the PNDC buy ena Ghana for ye mu BTC ye kasa ya say ye peke mem kebia memu a ye de transition into democratic rule e bra Ghana for bre ansa na ye nsa ka ye democracy we say ye garden jealously enti enwanwa se sa etutrasem ehunehuna yakochi we yosiwesie yakoye se we mu ayira eniema esi close to 40 years ago. And since NDC by you've seen a continuous of some of these things are ever. First, I'm a former finance minister. On the no ni fie. Nankofo bura ni fie. Mintiase. Ghana, your intelligence organizations and your state security apparatus. BNI and some friend and I abuse then. BNI no. Intelligence e omo kra den ka untanti womudin because omo pretty undercover. CID in the Ghana police na sebia obi abe obi hu complain ana bibi wo ho a mo pese bubusa obi a mo ho kwan se mo friend no na mo invite no kra no ye no kwampa so edibu ni eni die manipa no because ye law no the woman say obia ye innocent till proven guilty. So enti say Ghana for besore anopa na ya to abawi so ye candidate Dr. Baumia or consider very early and ye may be a course be here esi a boura warehouse bi and this in kola ni bi akosisa mo yakoye se Accra the television ni ade ni na ade ana hadwe ye fa ne se ye mfa ne se bia the euphoria of victory me no kra no me dia subo no bebo abambofo no ho the state police say omotra ho ema ade a belong to the state ye di oman no sika akoto na nkrofo bebo awuram no makosisa in the name of politics enyamra kwaso inti se ko ban say a state organization say BNI mo pese me no obi kasa and na the telephone wo be free nipa no wo be hihye pa mo ko no hokra you don't need overbearing presence me a civilian wo be me fie there's no record say me wutuo and I say me wutuo kra bi a person kitu bi na mo ba fully armed just at the said you mo ko body armor mo de mo protect mo na omo amokofa on de omunye Ghana for a protect on it is overbearing presence inti minim say president inde minim no inti me expect say obi a we di vice president da we di president da asa kwa ba abedi president no obefo asa na man so no na yes aso de me nwanwa na ma ne ho aye me nwanwa ye say ono so nim so a even worse because the question is not just say who is in charge of the country because ade amaba ko no aka se bi o mistake aba enti ya from atu onfo na ya punish wo mo enu akire Bora governor of the central bank former governor ni fie koye ho to ho sakatu minti bi da Ghana ever in the history of this country even during military coup man did that say a soldier for Bora central bank governor because governors they are normally womunye politicians. The appointment may be done by a president, but they are mostly professionals. So, Nancy Betty, vice president ADC, and no cry they say you boo ne dying. And share a puno de way ayena. This has to stop. Wrong. Somebody has to bring it to the attention of the president. So we know embarrassing to his government and sending the wrong signal about our country Ghana. Ghana or maybe it has become an oasis of peace in the sub-region. The US seeing now most of their operations almost central Ghana because about 2 a.m. crying out nama wouldn't say she ain't happen to you. And as a state institutions na I one boy home by now. I fed the huna and they be when nipa there. We need to say asem papa. Do we need to be very frank with the president and let him know that the buck stops at his table and he should take action and stop what HSM say. Because I will charge me it will be who are attorney general. Who have so many organs of state, intelligence ukra. So why bonia unim ena yemra no so kire say o frɛ me kra sɛ me nko police me ko dura met makasa me nkasa into the fact say obne me kɔ no kire sɛ obenya ho mfa so because mo asem bia ebebu me fo a sɛ me mfa ma the law allows you to remain silent so into the em one kra sɛ me hwɛ nkrofo na videos na mehu and it's a pattern almost dressing they don't look like professional police.
Yes,
this is like a ragtag army. And this is not supposed to be allowed in our country. SCC no. Nti we there may come and at baby obia. It's very embarrassing for him as president, embarrassing for the country. Sasa ni me because of ba ku mienu miensa. Kamena mekase be some rogue elements be within the state security na. A mistake. But we there it is becoming a constant pattern. And opay a brand here muko ni fie. Oye civilian we no cry that no afi no free pem man nko sesan ho cry yes yempene. What kind of society are we building? Say wa ba me fie wan kan chem so ba me fie me pia besia e di asema o se yemfa memra headquarters yemfa memra headquarters e di enti ne yemfa memra headquarters. The law does not give the state security any he say ombetima borrow face be no, there has to be a reason. And I say so mo court koje a court warrant near the betcher na kind warrant and betcher at the frontier judge no approve say police for mra ofia no message ofie uhwe nipa no so there's no identity no say atro say NIB say BN and na mo san hye battle ready mususu mo cause civilian fee there's no chance on no betumutuo mu no mu krokretuo enti I think the ekoso no emfata. It's something that all serious-minded patriots of our country should condemn. We cannot support this kind of behavior. And it's becoming one too many. Sorry, NDC. NDC for the president who is responsible for running the executive arm of state. It's too early for you to even pass. Media to get their feet under the table, to get to grips with a juma, a dear mom so money. Tia nanka first year no crana, Mima Femudi, Yana Mempesi Becca a buying wasem baby. So, Nanso so near me BS is here, fata. Say, aye binumu say ye was soja bemwa, to be borrow fee near Hunround. Ye come on matter say, Omuntimi will be our Ghana.
They
should not do that. Pesa because woman here a civil disobedience. And also Ghana haye cool basa basa. Enti so bia ye bibina emfata ye omra kwanso. Enti police for betima invite no. E no cry ye kwan emfa so. Muna office obi aye bibia wona ese wo ye odwuma he who alleges must prove. Nyame a wo kan asem atom nso na esem ba be defend me ho. Wo na wo kura asem na ade akokot. Na wa chirechirim na se eso adin a judge o te adwam ana jury ho aka bibi aka se bia pani wa ye bone nti bia ntwe waso. That is the country we want to build. You see, after 30 years of democracy in there, it is very disappointing to see some of these things happening. And Rechi, it is a BBC or Cote d'Ivoire. Burkina Faso, we are so just same Yen Pebi or Ghana, you move near Mrantia pa 79. I'm all from 5. My classmate, you kuni papa kuni yere kun. Ewo because soja for burani fee. Just because Oye Nejuma as a judge advocate in a military trial. Nejuma na Oye. And so you kukuno keke. Kunkrama ofi onyina. Eniema akoso Ghana no. Eniema eyasefem. Nti nkola no ane yenwo wo at the time no mo taking niema for granted. No more fetu happily walking about with guns no. I think it is the duty of the president to put a stop to that immediately. It has to do. It has to.
Now, come now. Say the obe humpose way be genuine. APA NI before. As I say, that does obe to me a boy every.
There is no identity. And pabua crash of police issue. And tare shall be crash at normal shows near the BB. Which I won't say. A man ye who kakra. So because in Nipa Bonnie for betim the one frame near Bedu Bonnie. Inti a idea. Be counted. Let's see, raise your voices to the president, who is the one responsible for the internal and external security of this country. This cannot go on. It has to stop now. Ntunyai na emfata omano oni edia man so onhwe so. Enso eye nyina edia. Nti nye de opebia na obetimi aye. Yes, I will have to advise ourselves and mobilize ourselves to defend ourselves, and we don't want to do that as a people. We don't want to throw this country into chaos.
Yeah.
Enti omunyai de omoye no. Emfata. Eti se de maami a omo harasi no yi. Ghana democracy ejina enai miensa so. Executive kura baako, parliament kura baako, and a judiciary kura baako. Executive every 4 years president oko Ghana for ni me to no so aba. Parliament so omo yesa. Judiciary nko enye sa. Because omo de is a revered institution, a person a protected institution which ne bia ho kire bi ba ho na betima dan wani ahwe akonya nkranhye anase yebeji wo. And so the attacks on the judiciary should stop. Me time I may run as a presidential candidate for the MPP during the 2023. Okay. Me can send be my views on the constitution. Say one, there should be a cap on the Supreme Court. And I feel say a country like Ghana, we can do with no more than 11 justices of the Supreme Court. I even feel we can do with 9. Number 2, me can say law and tese me medjuma engineering to be so namurum na ko to form we site investigation wiane ahodin ti wunyina na edin. And they out to them na wo tro nti omu nyini kra no na omu ye more experienced. Nti ke benya ye Supreme Court judges no. Ye remove sa 70-year cap no. Because na say me share former Chief Justice Eni Yeboah. Utum sa hoden pa wo mu a ko betima ye adwuma. Abrochimem entina ho no Supreme Court judges chense aduru ba bia oni ahomeji a chese obetimi aye adwuma because of health reasons. Oni apomuden sa na ese meka no. Anase se bi onyankopon afre no mu afrim. Enti the chances for a president so obenya nominate a fresh Supreme Court justice no yana it doesn't come many times because in your 8-year span nipa say ne bewu nipa say ne be retire. Enti no president can come and say I'm packing it with either conservative judges or liberal judges. Enti ye campaign wo tie de na NDC presidential candidate the attacks on the judiciary and President Akufo-Addo are packing court no with any favorites. But it is a fact to say Tembia na President Akufo-Addo be nominated obi no ne bia obi call retirement and now obi efrim. There was a vacancy and sana wa fill vacancy no. But me dey me feel say sa vacancy in crowd because ya pege a year 70 years into vacancy na ban tem do into esa e ma president be opportunity mo appoint judges into one way ya na ekoyese ono de nkrofo nko ana into emra no na enya yensesa no. And I think that the Supreme Court judge can be on the bench till they are medically incapable of doing their work. Not just call retirement, medical leave. And as I said, Nyankopon friend be away free. Then you replace it. The bench, no, ends first Jesus no. Appeal court near the nipa kakrebio. Me nam papa a judge. I know. Yeah. Nipa kakrebi. That time, of course, military and international Supreme Court. And then I'm say President Muhammad 7 judges. There is no vacancy. Yes, be a vacancy be a back. Just because of you say President no chairman no any opportunity they nominating Crawford because vacancy buy enti ne kwan personal sen kai say o twen na say obi do retirement age 70 na say e kwan be da no appoint but at one fell swoop 7 judges say at my last count we have about 20
19 or so
20 Supreme Court judges. Now saying Crawford be the almost salary a big almost they retire on their salary. Yes. A double one. Who or retire yetua fufro na edin bazwa yetua o man so yesi eniska. We are living outside our means, beyond our means. Enunti na hayen. Ti niema bi o ha me feel say emfata. E de pa na ma mi ya eye grave obuni beka say the gravity of the somewhere so why anti say yitu na de so we are president the petition ba nti na we are president on the face of it o kindness office say frivolous o ho kwan say obeka say we dey menyi ni say me dey bekwa akoma council of state kra nti the excuse say ono de ne dia na say oji ana de ko na keke beka emra no beka say enfan koma council of state straight e dey ba president because ono hwe o mine so nti ono na dwen betimi a kire say da bi I don't think there's a need for anybody to respond to these. And some matitino very frivolous. Nunti precious time is being wasted to try and remove the Chief Justice. Oh, and to me feel say is bringing unnecessary pressure to bear on him, the president. Oh, first year, cried Ian Toso Ababu. Can feel say Nema ehu here and Nema edding. Those difficult decisions are the difficult decisions. Kasi say they can obey na what they are judin na oko because here say obe please anybody. Nemum hwe Nema oye ehun fa so ne say. So enti me dey me futu kakra me nim no personally.
Yeah.
Yes. Enti me nwanwa. Enti I don't know if it is him who is sitting down and allowing Sanyeme to go on and on.
But Kwabena say I also several times into yen to me say you be blame. Oh no,
that is why we have a president. And to be the same time, time a ye Charlotte say I never agreed. Because ya kotoba opposition man for number 1 5 or declare ye candidate as president. Anyebia or declare. Of course, there were internal issues. Bia is not emphata and yet dear. But me feel say it wasn't grave enough. Say it be nipan, but it happened. And non say be happen. Na enya ese babe repeat it. We have to learn from history. And yema koso na enye Auditor General dear. And you say na me mfuaso na can time be 3-4 months bia or call retirement. Jano. So, Nina, it is the hawks in both political parties. And I'm sure there are some rogue elements in the security system. The president has to put a handle on them and check them. Yes, on be good anymore. So, no, as soon as there, Onya could drone conscience on a room facing no. And Chen said, yes, I know. Minim nunti, minin ni se, nipana minim no. Sa no tear. Tina make kind of sa.
But Mr. Kwabena Agyei Agyapong is my guest on the show this afternoon. Penini yadeno chuchin common. But Kwabena ansan yebeko other matters mo. What count Chief Justice there? Just linked or related to Adenta Kumi Ensem. Sa footage and drive by. Meaning when your opportunity as the son of a judge, late dad, you know. Sa footage no who say mom's meeting say exchanging of life no
ejuma a lonely job edin pa me papa na damfo justice redu justice aboaje say wenye ne baby ko wo mo na the pressure to no so no person be judge o bo mfu say enti ofiri mo e wo mo ya papa. Because I said I'm gonna pushy no say uncle judge. Na me papa say no ni adamfo. Na damfo back on why say ni nia adamfo. Nti ono kra no ofiri me no nchen na me kotran. Friend Mr. NT. Wono pe na menim say me papa adamfo no. Because other say judges na e wadamfo. No kra no so be sorry akọ obi fia na ma hu say papa kotran ba bi si okodidi. And because it was catch the worm. Oh yes, it is part of. They know it. Code of conduct, no more work. One PP, one judges abonting. Tell you abonting. Once in a while, be a cushy be baby, and no crown. And ya dear, normally say Chief Justice who's out yes, or very reprimandable.
Most of the times there's so
because it was a dear sem. Nipas were named to say Crucha Mansa. So who them say. Enti meanwa say such an elite restaurant. No, perhaps the most topmost restaurant in this country. Minimum. Because minimum the any day. Say ombeka say you could do. I find it very strange. Minimum time near say enumere kakra be
7:30 to 8 there.
They say wofia o ira no aduane amaudi. No, I'm crossing the can. Let's be serious with this country. So, enti unfortunately, omo ho nyina so yemi nanfofo.
Oh, okay.
Kolendi my fan say minu aketwa no because no Akufo-Addo Chambers. Time na me ko ho no na o young man afi no waba. Ntimi ni no pa family madam for no. I just say in times was me to kwan kwa abrochi nyina together. Nti one do madam for ankasa. Ena puaman so me dey your club bi nipa no so club of general secretaries me general secretary no general secretary of PNC
yeah
nti ko Akufo-Addo akoye reforms ni nyina me na nti namfo I say Professor Demensa former vice chancellor dey be hu nam so club of general secretaries no Dr. Lima mo party no so general secretary nti share na e dey asre na say Ivor Green Street. Yeah, I'm saying club of general secretaries there. They are saying, "Inti minimum, say omu wonim there. They know the law. They know what the score is. Inti eye me nwanwa say BBC be kwa akosi. Kade me pese metene say e bia na eye coincidence. E bia wi ase wo ho atoro bia otimi ye one slip bi. Na bi kwa na omu nim se papa no wo ho. Bia na omu kodidi ampa. So I would rather say because it is true ye share but we dey na ye kudidi normally en call out ye judges dey na na die na nka ye se ye kudidi na hwe ni masa atimisi so no I can say but first the response from Theodore Sorry say it is a monstrous lie na bibia crazy. That was before the videos came because I'm saying no nim say be na videos bi ho and I say footage bi ho. Ono lawyer na semo kind. And he was exposed at least there was a meeting. Whether it was planned or unplanned, so but there was a meeting. And there was familiarization. Yes. Which is something they should not necessarily be doing. Because said, who a lawyer now who appear before a judge for a client. Say, oh, person will call judge in the other only no adversary now and walk court no e say the lawyer can and they obey me na ko chambers dey be am ko discoveries be anase near me kakra me nim because me papa no ko chambers atro am timi di nachi timite dem wo me hu de ekoso emisua so enti ade we no me na me nim de ekoso me TV or radio so say young man no aye petition say mpanimfo ya kohia and some more discuss here there o say minim o say o mo te say o mo discuss bi me a ke bia me nka no sa me ka no say bia me hu say o makohia so no mo discuss here there minim because name bi ha your word against their word enti when should they petition there the ma minim the petition or the command president enti president ese otimi hwem o feel say frivolous waka che say we minyini say e there o feel say serious o betimi am busa say was there a meeting on this date at this time were these people present was it a planned meeting so almost share and answer a impofrim and answer a coincidence because if we are say there enyina etimi a mistake etimi ba obi ana wonim nasoso behia no utimi kohia no enti rather that is the response I was expecting from the president rather than say a soldier for an opportunity boy real boy defeat it's your petition yes you do ko be na other is a petition na crime and answer there
almost we put out false information but we put out false information yeah
I don't know petition until why petition for one put out information or yeah petition and Timon responded to petition and case the woman be a entisa and president because she need petition utimi kanasa and now why if you who say I didn't cry na judges no woman will be a mutapie but and no na him say a coincidence etimi serious name pitimi see but the aggression omo de akọ anopetututu na me hwe papa yire abrante yire esu kikemu ya be fa no na the arrogance of the officers these are not professionals they are not trained properly so one nipa ni nim se wo benefit anopa wono kra mo the force takashi na bi that is not right you have no right to forcibly enter anybody say omo the warrant go.
I don't know if a warrant.
You have no right to. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Completely wrong. And this is not the first time we are seeing these things. And say, yeah, 24 Ghana, and Kaza.
Oh yes.
President now who said the oil on am kwan boniswa. Obeda sir. Senor no so there. He has to take action. Those elements who are going rogue in the state security apparatus, no. On shall not deal with them because a good na buying hufi and it's too early. These are not good signals. So, enti assembly na yakusi media minim sena a planned or
okay unplanned. Yeah.
Betima base bia na da no judges normally omo tempi minim sa. E bia that day no na omo yesi omo kope bibia di. Ena akohia. Me the last time I course our restaurant. Me share 2 ministers bi. Ache. Na me expect you some be ho. But no mo shekwa na baby. Okay. And I'm chia won na edi nkomo na dem kwotran baby. Ache. That must be about 4 or 5 years ago. So, enti ade no there almost response to the whole thing na a man look because never be was say we genuine say we need problem bia and once what kind of city